Welcome, everybody, to another episode of The Wonderful Show Thoughts. I am the glorious, magnificent Big Show. That is the world's sexiest big man, Big E. And we're back for another week of fun-filled fucktard adventures. so, um, apparently, I was like, my weekend wasn't too grand. I got a lot going on. Um, we really didn't do nothing. Plus, the weather in the city was, it's like, it's like a woman on her period. No offense. It's like up, down. It's like a roller coaster. I tried to hang up some stuff and do some stuff outside, but then it was like bitterly cold yesterday. So I really didn't want to do it. Um, but I mean, I had other stuff going on during the week. Uh, I don't know if yours was really run of the mill, just a regular chill weekend. Anything exciting?
No, uh, this is the first full weekend of Donna being home, and she's still like, recovering from her surgery. So yeah, we went up to her parents and did laundry as usual. Seems to be what I always say we do, and then my kid worked. So yeah,
Yeah.
I watched a little more golf. To be honest, I forgot it was on. Uh, but I did watch a little bit, and then watched a lot of hockey. Hockey playoffs started. So there was, I know yesterday alone, the first game started at like noon and and it was on ESPN, and ESPN ran games all the way till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, especially with the the
Yeah, it was the
Canada.
West. Yeah, it was, yeah, Vancouver and Nashville. So, to be honest, I thought that game was in Nashville. Like I thought that Nashville had won
Yeah.
home series, so I thought that the series started there. I didn't pay attention, and then when they were like, "Oh, the game won't start till 10," I was like, "Oh, they're in Coover. They're over there in the Coover."
Yeah, when we were at dinner on Saturday, I was like, "Oh, I wonder what games are what," because um, actually, I wore this hat to my mom's. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't even know they were playing.
Yeah,
I swear to you, I had no idea. And then my stepdad Kevin's like wearing that for the Canes, and I was like, "Are they in the playoffs?" He was
yeah,
like, "Yeah." I was like, "Sure,
yeah.
sure."
They're one of the teams predicted to go to the Cup and win it all. I don't know. I think they gotta. There's some reasons. Obviously, Pens aren't in it. We talked about this before, but so I went through the playoff bracket and I looked to see who I might root for, and there's no real super underdog this year, which is normally who I would root for if the Pens aren't in it. But I don't know. At this point, I'm looking for somebody different. The Canes wouldn't be bad just because there are some Pittsburgh guys on that team. Obviously, with Gensel being traded there, and then Jordan Stahl still there and stuff like that. So yeah, you want to root for the the former Pens guys. Um, but I don't know. It was the somewhat late game. It was what was it, the 7 o'clock game or whatever. It was Winnipeg versus
The
uh
Avs.
the Avs. Yeah, your team. Bro, that game, I don't know if you watched. I didn't
This
know
is
if you were
gonna be.
watching it or not because it was, it's your boys, the Avs, but that game was outrageous. I couldn't believe, I mean, they didn't break the record, I don't think, but at least for the weekend, it was the highest scoring game, 13 goals between two teams. Winnipeg ends up taking it 7-6 at the end, and it was with their fans, obviously we don't get to really watch Winnipeg games because they're kind of more like a West Coast time zone. So it's their games are always later, not in our market. But I'm like, dude, their place, their fans, they asked for a whiteout. They followed it to a T. I was like, they do that on purpose because it's even for me, just watching the game, I was having a hard time focusing on the ice because the white, just the all white background behind the players and behind the glass, I was like, that's so messing with my eyes. So I can only imagine what it was like for Colorado going in there and
Yeah.
having to face that. So it was weird, but their fans were on top of it. Like that was probably one of the best fan games over the weekend. Like there was a couple other one, New York, the Rangers at MSG, like their fans, were pretty good, but uh Winnipeg's fans. So I'm like, maybe I want to root for Winnipeg because they haven't won it all in a while and stuff like that. So it's like maybe I'll root for them. I don't know. We'll see. Plus, not that it's hard, but I based off of what hats I have. The thing is though, is I have almost a hat for almost every team. There's only like two teams I think that I don't have a hat for that are in the playoffs.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I only think I think I don't only don't have a couple. I'd love an Edmonton Oilers one though.
That's one that I don't have. Yeah, Oilers. And I was thinking about getting one throughout the season. Because they're an old classic team, and uh, I like Connor McDavid. Like he's a good player for them and a great guy for the league. So it's like I was like, oh, let me. But I just never. Their hats are hard to. Believe it or not, their hats are actually they don't like even on the NHL website. Like it was hard to find exactly what I was. I just wanted something simple, but they're because their team's so hot, it was selling like their hats were
Yeah,
hard to come by. So yeah, I just held off for now. We'll see.
yeah. I was to be honest, this is the only Canes hat I have. Like it's the
Yeah,
only one.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I have a Canes hat. I'd have to look. I think I do, but I don't remember. I know I don't have like I'm missing Nashville, Edmonton, like you said, and I'm missing there was one other team that I know. Oh, Dallas. I don't have a Dallas Stars hat either.
I have a North Stars hat, so
Which, yeah, I mean, technically, yeah. If you would
yeah,
want
it's like to me that counts. If you
you
have
want
a
to
North
consider
Stars
them.
hat,
So, I mean, I do have a North Stars hat, but I don't have an actual official Dallas hat. So I don't
because
know.
I put the Minnesota North Stars separately from the Minnesota Wild hat I have. It's like it's not the
Yeah,
same, you know.
yeah. Which
Um,
is weird though because Minnesota Wild wears more Minnesota North Stars colors like for throwbacks and stuff than
then Dallas,
Dallas does, and that's where Dallas came from.
right? It's weird. The
But
league's
that's
weird.
like it's crazy because I watched an interview today with the guy that bought Arizona and they're moving to Utah.
Are
And
they gonna be the Utah Coyotes?
no, he's changing them completely. He's losing everything from all the branding from Arizona's. They're starting fresh. He said basically, this sounds horrible to say it this way. He goes, but I literally bought people. I bought the team, I bought the management, the offices, whoever's willing to make the move up here from Arizona to Utah, they're come. Like, again, like the front offices and stuff like that, like the general manager and things of
Yeah,
that nature. Like he wants them to come because obviously they know the team, they know the stuff. So
yeah,
he wants as much as that to come with him. Because it's not like an expansion team where he gets to draft players and all that stuff. He literally has to take whatever Arizona has and move it to Utah.
yeah,
But he won't. He said he's not announcing the team yet, just because he's leaving it to a fan vote. Like in Utah, they're going to do like a mini bracket. He said there's going to be 8 names, and then they're going to do fan votes to see which team name wins.
Hmm.
So
Are they gonna
yeah,
be in like Salt Lake City?
yeah, they're going to be in Salt Lake City. Yeah, so it's the owner of the Jazz
Oh,
that bought him. His name's Ryan Smith. It's crazy. Um, he was on McAfee today, and he's only 45 years old, and he owns an NBA team and now an NHL team. And he was already like a multimillionaire because of some. So he created like this data company that like a lot of social media and stuff uses to like root out like spam bots and stuff.
yeah,
So like he still owns that company, and then he went and bought the Utah Jazz, and he's wanted to put a hockey team in there because he's a hockey fan. So he's wanted to put a hockey team in Utah, but the NHL said we just had LA, or I'm sorry, Vegas. We had Seattle. Like we're not ready for another expansion team just yet. So he said they reached out to him and said, "Hey, listen, this is the situation. He said this all just happened in the matter of like 4 weeks, 5 weeks. He said the president of the NHL called him and was like, "Hey, Arizona's in this situation. Maybe you want to work with their ownership and move the team up there." I think he said it cost him like what 1.2 billion. So basically, his ownership that him and the other guys that he owns the Jazz with, that them same people bought. They just put their money together again and bought
But
Arizona. So
huh,
so now my Arizona hat's gonna be like a vintage throwback, I guess.
yeah.
And
Uh
it's already like it's already considered vintage because I have the old logo. It's like the actual like when they first were a team where it's like the coyote playing hockey, kind of like the Penguins logo.
oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's the logo that I have. And then they switched to that more like howling coyote look.
yeah. Yeah.
And then now they're not going to be. Rumor has it that I mean he's putting it to a fan vote, but they think that one of the names that's been thrown around is like the Utah Yetis.
We'll see.
So a lot of people, we might get canceled for this. I don't care. I'm allowed. A lot of people have been making like concept jerseys and throwing out team names for him.
Of course.
And one that's been going around is the Storm and Mormons. And
All right, that's fucking funny.
he
All
is
right.
he is Mormon, the owner.
I mean,
I mean it's Utah.
he's in Utah for God's sakes.
Yeah. I mean I'm allowed to say it. I'm associated, I guess.
Yeah, we've been there.
But like yeah, so there's been some concepts of that, which has been like a running joke, but
That would be
uh
crazy.
we'll see. I don't know. I thought maybe
What?
he would keep the coyotes. I figured like I don't know, I'm not too familiar with Utah's animal population, but I thought they sound like a place that would have like Utah, like you think the mountains and stuff, they probably have coyotes up there, I would guess.
Right, or the Utah Utes.
Yeah.
Whatever
Well,
works for them.
yeah. So we'll see. Oh, somebody said they should be called they should be called the sluts.
The sluts?
Yeah, if you take the SNL from Salt Lake and then the UT from Utah and just do like S.L.U.T. Sluts.
I mean, I'd wear a sluts jersey.
I would. What's the
Right?
logo? What's the logo though? Stripper pole?
Yeah, with the S going around it. There you go.
Yeah.
Almost like the fucking medical cross with the snake. There you go.
Yeah.
I'd be down. Um,
So that was my
dude,
yeah, that was sports were kind of like what we did this weekend. I mean, no adventures, nothing like that.
well, you went to SmackDown on Friday.
Oh, I did. I'm so glad you brought that up. I forgot. That was a hot topic for me. If anybody was paying attention, we even went live a little bit there just to show the scenery. Let me tell you, bro. You know, me and
It
Mike,
seemed boring. Like watching it, it seemed boring.
bro. Me and Mike. I have to give him credit for this, and I highly agreed. Like, it's worse than people of Walmart. Like, worse than the people of Walmart. Like, you could start a
Really?
whole web thing or whatever it is, the people of Walmart page. Like, the people of fucking wrestling. Like, the amount of people there that were missing teeth, like clothes that they should not have been wearing at the body shape that they were, grown ass men. And listen, I get it. I'm not young. Yes, I still watch wrestling. We talk about it. We're fans. This is the first live event that I've been to in a good, I don't know how long, a few years.
Yeah.
Um, I don't go dressed up from head to toe like the fucking Undertaker.
I mean, it's not Mania or a premium live event.
There was a group of dudes there that were LWO luchadors, full masks and everything. There was the one dude even had a fitted on over his luchador mask. I was like,
Right.
what is going on?
That's
What
quite
is
impressive.
what is going on? I mean, the amount of special. that was there, bro. Like it was, it
in,
was,
in the best
it was it was
non-political way to put it.
it was a show within the show. Like, yeah, but then like so wrestling started, and I feel like Pittsburgh got screwed out of an episode. Like, this was the worst cast that, like, I don't want to say cat, but like match card. I'm like, what the hell? What? We only had four. When you stop and think about it, we only had four matches.
Bro, it was lame. Like I was watching it and I was like, I felt like it was a filler episode for the draft.
Oh, we had no Cody. I couldn't get no Whoa. I couldn't
We
get my
couldn't get
Whoa
no
in.
Woe, no Cody.
No Whoa. I mean, we had
Fucking
Bailey, and that was
yeah.
good. Nice to see her live. I wish I would
Solo
have seen
came
her.
out with fucking beating up Owens, and I was like, that's kind of yawnish already. I'm already over that. That's boring.
I mean, car crash in Pittsburgh. I was like, that's not new.
Yeah, right. Tell me something I fucking don't know.
I know. Nick
Like,
Aldis was like, you know anything about this? You know anything about this? I was like, well, I mean, that's Center Ave. You might want to, I don't know.
well, the worst part is he's sitting back there. I looked at Brandy, and she's like, "What?" I was like, "I delivered back there."
Yeah.
Well, I was like,
You're like, I
"I
know that
delivered
spot.
back there," and she was like, "You ever see a car accident back there?" I was like, "No, but this is fucking Pittsburgh."
He came up off of Fifth Avenue, a little hot, couldn't make,
Oh, hot,
couldn't make the turn. I was
bro.
like, it was just, yeah. And then we had two dark matches, or three. There was one prior to uh going live, which was a new tag team they had put together, which is Cedric Alexander, and he's the one dude, the only dude that they kept from Hit Row. Adonis, wasn't he what Hit Row?
I don't know.
I think it was Adonis. They made them a tag team. I have a feeling they're more like an NXT tag team though. Um, and then they fought. I don't remember who they fought. It was no
That's
good.
how fucking non-entertaining it was.
Yeah, it was. It was. And then the post matches were Ray and Dragon versus uh I don't remember now. I don't even
I
know.
didn't know if you were frozen or buffering.
I'm buff my brain's buffering.
You're buffering like a motherfucker.
Um I don't remember who it was.
See, that's what I
Crap.
love about dark matches. It's not that important.
No, we stayed for the Ray Mysterio match, like the Ray and
I would have stayed for that.
yeah. Uh, who in the hell did they fight? I don't even know. But anyways, yeah, it wasn't anybody important. Again, it was just a match. Like it basically was just a way for everybody to see, like to have Rey Mysterio for the crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and then the other match we didn't stay for was Bobby Lashley versus Karrion in a Steel City street fight. So basically a hardcore match.
So the same thing as Mania.
Yeah, like a Philadelphia street fight that they did. Um,
Yeah,
but
lame.
we didn't stay for that one. We left.
That's
Uh,
because you didn't have time to fall and pray.
I didn't. I didn't. Um,
But I hate him.
well, we did. We did their entrance. Like we stayed long enough to see both of them come out because like Carrion came out first with Scarlett, and then Bobby came out, and then we were like, all right, time to roll.
You're like, I'm not feeling really almighty right now.
I wasn't. I mean, he was. You know, there was no crowd participation whatsoever. I mean, I feel like if you'd have had some main event Jay there, man, Pittsburgh would have been yeeting all over the place.
Oh my god, they would have yeeted like crazy.
Yeah, but they were not. They were not fist pumping with Bobby.
No. And you didn't have the American Nightmare there. So
No American Nightmare. I mean, you had the whole, yeah, like you said, like the solo, like the bloodline story continuation, but even that was a little weird. And then,
and then we started the We Want Roman chant.
yeah, I don't know if it was, if Yin's got it on TV, but they did a video thing. Like he recorded like a video. He's over in Europe right now promoting because they'll be over there for, France. for Backlash.
Hmm.
So he after because we had the LA and AJ match first, so they must have told him who won. So he recorded a little thing saying like, can't wait to see AJ in France when he gets over here. Da da da.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They showed us that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I wasn't sure if that was just us or if you guys saw it. And
I
then
don't know where the fuck that's gone. That's just weird.
yeah, it's weird. And then yeah, and then we had that four-way tag match.
That was okay.
It was okay. Yeah. Um. So we had the AJ, LA, the four-way, the Bailey, and then the Carlito versus what's
Oh
his name?
yeah, yeah,
The fake LWO.
yeah. And then they had the unveiling of the new tag titles. I don't like either.
I like both of them.
I don't like them.
I
I
like
don't
them.
like 'em.
They're old school.
Do you know what they look like? They look like the SmackDown titles look like the old titles of
Yeah.
before the coin ones.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I think like Triple H is trying to like I don't know, not bring back the past, but almost honor the past.
Yeah. Plus, I'm not really a fan of A Town Down Under. I just don't like them.
I think they're just fillers. I don't think they're going to hold them that long.
No, I don't think so either.
Raw tonight's going to be money.
Money.
Going to be money.
Well, I mean, if Mela shows up, it's money.
We're supposed to get Bliss back tonight.
We'll see.
Well, they're in Columbus, her hometown.
Again, we'll see. By the way, I did the Uncle Howdy fucking scan the QR code that popped up on
Oh
SmackDown.
yeah, I heard that it was during Triple H
Yeah, and all it
because obviously as we couldn't see it.
was a buzzard flying towards the sky. That's all it was.
Okay.
Okay, we get it. Like we get it. It's Uncle Howdy. We get
Yeah,
it.
because obviously they did it during a commercial break. I think it was after the Carlito and El Delgado guy match. During the commercial break, the music went or the lights went dark, and they played that creepy song.
Oh, that um
It almost reminds me of like an old what were they called? Like the little street peddler guys that did the little windy box with the monkey that danced.
yeah, it reminds me of like the video game Bioshock.
I never played it, so I wouldn't know.
It's like 40s music. It's cool.
Yeah. So they played that, and everybody shined their little lights, and then they were screaming, "We want Uncle Howdy," and
Did they?
they did.
Um,
I was screaming, "We want Matt Hardy," but nobody cared.
it'll never be as good as the "We Want Nachos" chant on bragging rights.
So yeah, it was pretty cool. And the other thing I don't think you guys got to see. Oh, that was the dark match. It was Ray and uh
Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee versus A Town Down.
Oh, A Town Down Under.
A Town Down Under. Yeah, because after the match, A Town, what's his name? Not Austin.
Grayson Wallen or
Grayson
Waller.
Waller got on the mic and he was like, he goes, I should be nice and because Cam Hayward and uh,
I
Alex
saw the
Heiss,
Steelers were there.
yeah, they were right behind Corey. And he was like, I should go over and let them touch these titles because this will be the last time they ever see a title in this city. And then he got in Cam Hayward's face, and Cam was like drawing back and forth with them. And to be honest, the crowd started a Steelers suck chant.
Did they for real?
Yeah.
Good.
I was looked at Mike. Mike looked at me and I was like, is that right? He was like, yeah. And then it slowly turned into a let's go Steelers, but it started out for a good 2 minutes of a Steelers suck.
Hey.
I was like, wow. Like that was crazy. Oh, and then
You call it when you see it.
that whole thing with Damage Control and Jade and Bianca.
Yeah.
They were sitting right under. That was right on. They were right underneath of us. We were like, I don't know, about seven, maybe 10. I say 10 rows back from like the top balcony,
Oh yeah,
and they were right under us because we were like looking around the perimeter to see where, because normally they have like the spotlight on them so we could tell what suite they were in. And I'm like, I
yeah.
can't see. And then there was a girl hanging over the edge, looking like down, trying to take photos with her phone. The usher had to come down and tell her, like, you got to get back up. Like, you're going to fall over, dumbass.
Dumbass.
And
It's funny where they were is well where Jade and Bianca were
uh,
when we went to the Pens game to watch them play Buffalo.
yeah,
Where damage control was
yeah,
because I remember taking a picture of that
yeah,
like the Penguins thing next to where Bianca and Jade were,
yeah.
and I was looking at Brandy and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like damage
That's
control was
the,
sitting where we were sitting,
yeah,
and she's like, "That's fucking wild." I was like, "I know," and then there was look right next to them is Jade Corco and fucking Bianca. I was
yeah,
like, "Man, that's crazy."
yeah.
But
That was, and like, so, yeah, we could only watch it on the Jumbotron or,
I mean, unless you're that broad fucking leaning over trying to fucking kill
yeah.
herself.
But that's the thing, though, too, is like, it was different. It was weird because, Triple H announced, like, you know, that the idea is to start having smaller, like, entrances and stuff. Like, the stage setup will be different.
Mhm. So you
And,
can
like,
fit more people in there.
they can fit more people. And he wasn't kidding. Like, it wasn't hard for us to see, but it was, I mean, when you're used to going, like, again, that's how long ago it's been since I was at a live event. Like, they still had the full show.
Like yeah, like Titantron, all that shit. Like big.
Yeah, so it was like I had to look up above the ring and watch the Penguins. They had it on the Penguins jumbotron.
Yeah.
So that's the screens that we had to watch if we couldn't see what was going on down below.
Oh.
Like whenever he was dragging out KO, like it was a little hard.
Uh,
It was a little hard for us to see because we were not. It wasn't because we were so far away, but it was like the way we had to look past everything and everybody. Like it was a little
yeah.
hard to see what was exactly going on until he
Yeah.
dragged them all the way to the ring.
Right.
So we had to watch it up above our heads. But yeah, I don't. I told Donna and Jane, like, I think I'm okay with live event. Like, I don't. I'm okay watching it at home.
Yeah.
Like that's the other thing too. Is like, I mean, I recorded it, so at some point this week I might go back and like skim through it. But like, I wanted to hear Corey in Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Like,
It was
we,
pretty good.
we don't get to hear that. I mean, again, prior to it going live, like they have the announce team, and him and Wade Barrett came out and they gave him his own little. They played his old wrestling music. I think I sent you the photo of like his logo,
His like stand or, like wait, are you talking about Corey or Wade?
Corey's.
Yeah, his little
It was
stand
like
up.
that. No, it was the rose. It was like the roses or whatever.
Yeah.
And he
That
down
was
like he has his name in cursive, like trying to be
yeah.
fancy. But he came out and he like I think he got in the ring and like waved everybody as like kind of welcome, thanks, and he like did a little like thank you
Yeah.
because everybody was going a little nuts for him. So
He made some pirates analogies and whatnot, you know.
that's what I mean. Like that's the other thing too. Like being there live, like you kind of like I like listening to the commentators. Like
Yeah, right.
that's part of the show is listening to them.
That's the
But
worst part about being at a live show is you really can't
no,
hear.
yeah, it was weird. So yeah, but the crazy part was is before all you guys could see it, we already saw Tiffy coming out. We saw her sprinting from like basically like where the Zambonis come out for the hockey games. She was sprinting through, like they opened up a walkway for her. They had like security open up like a clear path so she could sprint out of that tunnel and then over the wall past like where Samantha and them sit.
Well, like Brandy said, like oh my god, like nobody saw that coming. I was like, there you go, you're getting it.
Yeah.
I was like, when you see the whole crowd go like this,
Yeah.
you know something's happening.
We had done that well before it hit live TV because we saw her coming. Because
I
she
was
was
like,
wearing
it's
that.
probably not hard to see her.
It's not hard to miss a whatever how tall she is, blonde and hot pink, running through a
Right.
crowd of yinzers. Like,
Looking like a fucking big ass Barbie doll. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure that's what's
basically.
going
So
on.
I was like, oh hey, Tiffy's coming. This match is over. Like
Yeah, right.
you knew she was going to interfere. So it was like,
Yeah.
uh, so it was like, yeah, it was just I don't know. Like it just wasn't like again we're on the verge of WrestleMania, like post WrestleMania. You're supposed to be when the better shows. You got the draft next week. Like we need
Well, that's
some.
what I said. I was um telling Scott, I was like, it seemed just like it was a filler episode because they really don't want to start nothing, but yet they have the pay per view coming, but the draft is literally this week.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I figured like SmackDown and Raw would be filler.
But see, that just that's why I looked at Mike and I said, "Well, be glad this is only SmackDown." He goes, "Why?" And I was like, "Because if this was Raw, we'd be here for 3 hours, dude." He was like, "Oh yeah, no, I don't know if I can handle it." Like little dude in front of us. Oh my God, they were. You could tell they were first time live eventers. Like this little dude has been watching it faithfully on TV,
Yeah.
and like nothing again. Like I'm not trying to make fun of the little kid or whatever. Like he was having his moment. Uh, but you could tell like it was him, his mom. We don't know who the other girl was. She was older. She was probably like in her early 20s. So we're not sure if it was a sister or like his aunt, maybe, because mom didn't look that old to have a child that old. But who knows nowadays? But, anyways, mom's trying to like record for him. And like you could tell she was like trying to get entrances and that so that he could, like have the memories.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But little did there was a couple times where she had to almost drop her phone and grab him by the back of his pants because he almost went headfirst over into the people in front of us because he was just I mean like every entrance music he's full like in
He's
on it.
into it.
He had his little kid title. He's everybody and we kind of noticed that he favored a certain group of people like like let's just say like for the main event he wanted Naomi to win. Like
Okay.
but they didn't look like it was just weird. I was like, why is that dude only rooting for certain crowds? Like I don't get it. Mike was like, I don't know either. Like, but like he was having his moment.
But
Like,
my thing is, was he?
no, he was not Canadian.
Well, then maybe he's just he has preferences. I got my preferences.
I was just like, but no, but like he was just living his like at
He
one
was
point
living his motherfucking best life. Is
he
what he was.
was his mom went and got nachos. She come back like the Carlito match, I called it the match of the Walking Dead because all the idiots started leaving their seats to go to the restroom, go get drinks, whatever, like get
Yeah.
food, because that was like a boring match. So his mom went and got nachos. She come back and she's like, "Here, I got nachos, like for the three of them to share." And he was like I don't like he was pissed because he wasn't eating the nachos and he was between the two and they were so he made mom move seats so that he didn't have to keep getting interrupted by them passing nachos back.
Yeah, like my man's just trying to watch my shit.
He was having a moment. Like he wasn't annoying, but he was just like, all right, dude. It's like this again, like you could tell you're new, you're just having fun, but we did not get a good episode of
No.
SmackDown. Like it wasn't as good as that little dude made it seem like it was.
Right. And I'm sure like he made it like really good and a fun experience like for him, but on top of the whole situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But um but yeah, that's cool. I figured I'd save that till like today because I knew it was here. Um did you see well you probably didn't, but maybe your wife did. Did you see Kevin singing Candy Rain?
No.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. My stepfather and his band. covered Candy Rain
Wow.
at a bar this weekend,
I'll have to look that up.
and yeah, he killed it. I'm very, very, very proud of him. I was like, because he was saying something like usually if they do the sets and whatnot, he'll post it, and he knows I rarely do Facebook, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean. Unless the family puts something on.
Yeah.
So I was like, Poppy can what? And I'm like, I watched the video and I hear him like, have you ever loved someone? I was like, what? I was like, is he singing Candy Rain? And I was like, listen to it. And even Brandy's like on the couch and she's like, I was like, yeah, yeah, it's Candy Rain. So I'm watching it and I was like, next thing you know, I was like, I'm into it, bro. I was like, get it, Kev, get it, Kev. And he had like a very diverse crowd.
Yeah.
There was some white folks, some black
He
folks,
always
all
invites
kind
us
of
out. Like
diversions.
I wouldn't mind going and seeing them.
Oh, I would love to go see them. Like
It's
if
just
I
that
don't have
whenever
to go
they
see
have a gig, it's always in a unopportune time for me. Like,
same with me, bro. Like I will have I won't have I have X or something, but I mean I would just go. You know
yeah,
what I mean? I don't have to.
we're gonna have to. He needs to give us like a schedule. Like if they know like where they're gonna be for like the month of May or whatever. Like let us know, and then we're gonna have to plan something out to go check them out.
And we'll just have to put it on this fucking thing on the
But
YouTube
not
channel.
tell him. We're not telling him or your mom that we're coming though.
We're just gonna be like,
Yeah.
yeah, but it was cool, man. Like I was like, oh, look at him, because I mean, I know they cover his he covers a couple good songs, and it was just I don't know, kind of blew me away because it was something way out of the wheelhouse,
Yeah.
and I was just like, all right, yeah, get it. Mm, mm. Um, what else? Oh, so Xander's track meet went well.
I know. I saw your post and I was watching all the videos. I just have one thing. But I'll get to that in a second. I told Donna, and I mean, I think I might have told you this when we talked about it last week. I don't know if we talked about it last week. Last time me and you talked, like I said, I wouldn't mind going and supporting him, but this shit's too far away.
You don't even like leaving fucking that side of the city.
Well, and the other thing too is like you said they were on Wednesdays, which I wasn't thinking ahead. Like I was like, oh crap, I have bowling those days. But um, but yeah, I was like, and you said there was only like three of them.
Yeah, there's only three. Like this week's in Fox at Fox Chapel,
Yeah,
and then next Wednesdays is at the Highlands out like in Trona Heights. Like Noel and Riley and them are coming out to that one.
yeah, yeah,
Um, I mean, it wasn't bad. Like this one's at home this week, so I figured there'll be more people there. Might be more like her family and whatnot. I know she's gonna bring her daughter and all that stuff.
yeah, yeah,
I was like, if he's coming, he comes. I don't care. You know what I
yeah,
mean? If he does, I'll sit away from them. I don't feel like tolerating somebody like that for 3 hours.
yeah.
Um, but but
I mean, it
really
looked like
good,
he was
man.
having fun. I mean, dude, he was killing me with the relay race, blowing into the blown into the pole, the little
Dude.
the handoff stick or whatever the hell they call it.
Oh my God,
I
he,
was like, I'm about to see him out there like Timmy Trumpets, like playing it up.
dude. So his mom had to leave early because like her basement consistently keeps flooding. Like even when we were together, like the basement flooded, as you
Yeah,
remember. And I guess they were doing the construction work or whatever. They did that, fixed it, thought they fixed it. Unfortunately, they didn't fix it. So I guess her basement flooded. So she was like, hey, do you mind recording the 1x4 or whatever?
yeah,
And I was a relay race. And I was like, nah, not at all. Then I wasn't like, well, I wasn't trying to be an asshole, but I was like, just remember, like, I'm not a deadbeat fucking dad. Like, I will help you out here. You know what I
yeah.
mean? You go fix your house. I got this. You know what I mean? So she leaves, takes off, says goodbye to our son. And the race starts, and I'm in awe because I see Xander like around half the track. Like I know he's gonna be from 2 to 3. Like and then
Oh,
from
okay. I was just
and
about to
then
ask you like where he was in the relay.
yeah, from 2 to 3.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. So I'm watching him, and I that's why the video is what it is. Like that's me raw going like he's in there playing like a goddamn flute. Because as
Yeah,
soon as I zoomed in on him, I was like, what the fuck is he doing? What is he doing?
about to belt out some Zelda, like doop, doop,
And
doop.
he's just sitting there. I was like, dude, what the fuck? I was like, oh my God. And I was like, come on, come on. And I can't because I'm over there laughing and pissing myself laughing at the
Yeah.
same time. And that's just one of two things he did. Well, three. The mini javelin, it looked like he gave no fucks.
No, he. Cause you told me he liked doing that. You
Yeah, and
said
then
that was
he was
like
just
his
like,
thing.
he just took it and he was like,
Yeah, he
and
just.
I'm like, hey, like, what are you doing?
I'm like, why
So,
did not? I thought he was gonna put it a good, like, 30 yards down the field.
as did I. So did his mother. We both were like, dude.
Yeah.
And then he came over and I was like, what's going on? He's like, I don't feel like it. Okay, well, hey, like if you've been doing this competition and getting trained for it, like next time,
Do
get
it.
like just get a little better, focus on it. But the shit kicker of it all has to be the 100-meter dash.
Oh, bro, he
Has to.
was killing me. Trying to
Yeah,
hold up the shorts. And I was like, until I read like, I watched the videos, I didn't expand your comment, like your story under the video. Like, I just watched the videos and I'm like, Rose, shorts must have come untied. Like, he's struggling. And then I read your thing and I was like, oh no, the Gatorade bottle.
dude, and I mean, not the little ones for kids, not the little ones. He had that big 32-ounce
They had
fucking
a full
bottle.
32.
Bro, because he's sitting there right and he's running and he ran past us. And I looked at Ashley and I was like, his pants are falling. And I was like, fuck, like his pants are falling. I hope he don't lose this race.
Yeah.
And Ashley was like, it looks like there's something wrong with his shorts. And mind you, when they fitted him, they gave him a 3X shirt, like a 3X tank top, and like an extra large or yeah, an extra large or 2XL. But it didn't have no strings. So if he starts running, them shit's coming right off.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm talking to one of the parents about the run, and Ashley like hits my shoulder, and she was like, "There's a fucking Gatorade bottle in it." I was like, "Okay."
Oh,
And when he pulled it out, we were both were like, "Come here." So he comes over to dilly dally, and bro, it was so fucking funny. He's looking at us, and he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Put the we." At the same time, we're like, "Put the Gatorade bottle on the field, bro." He puts it on the fucking line, right by the fucking track where all the kids are running.
oh.
I was like, Xander, pick it up and put it with your friends. Like, put it with your teammates. And he looks at me like, okay. And then he went to go put it in his pocket. And Ashley's like, didn't you just hear your dad? And he's like, oh yeah. And then he like puts it over there. Then he walks away and she's like, well, I'm like, hey, look, he still got second place for the kid.
So this is where I said I was gonna wait. I wait. The little dude that won first, that guy needs tested for some steroids.
Dude, JJ's on fire.
He's on some performance enhancers.
Bro,
That little
he
dude was like
was,
a mini Usain Bolt. I was like, where the hell did that dude come from?
dude, he was
Xander was in the
gone.
lead for a good, like, I don't know, couple feet. I was like, oh shit, he's about to win this. And then that little dude was like, phew. I was
I
like,
was, I
what?
did.
He had the arms moving. He was running.
I looked over at his mom. I was like, your son got wheels.
Yeah.
That's all I could say. I was like, I wasn't even mad, sad, whatever. Cause like going into it, I take it.
You just wanted him to do his best and have fun.
I wanted them all to have fun, do their best, just and we were clapping for all the kids,
Yeah.
even on the other teams and shit like that. Like, the only thing that had me not like the fuck, but it was just crazy was they had like um Xander's friend Maya, she's confined to an electric wheelchair.
Uh-huh.
And there was a kid in Armstrong, and they had, I don't know, like there was a part of me that was like, this is kind of fucked up, like, oh, with them. But they
Uh-huh.
had electric wheelchair race. And I'm
Oh.
going, so all they got to do is push the button.
Bro,
And
I just saw on Instagram where somebody took one of those little electric wheelchairs and made it 125 cc's like it's fucking Mario Kart.
bro. I mean, I'll help. I'll talk to Maya's dad and be like, "Hey,
You
man,
niggas.
we gotta rig this bad bitch." I mean, but it was it was just different for me, but in a
Yeah.
great way, very positive and
Well, did he
wonderful
get like
outcome.
a did he get like a silver medal or anything for winning second?
Mm-mm,
Oh, they don't pass out prizes?
no, I think what they do is that comes around like playoffs
Oh.
because so of course
Well,
this is gonna.
I just figured everything's a participation prize now.
Oh, dude, I mean, I especially with a special needs kid, I was waiting for it, and I'd have been like, "Look, man, we ain't fucking having this." Like, you know, at least the only thing he should have is yes, he should have a silver medal for
Yeah.
second place. But
What place did
um,
they in the relay race? How did they finish? Because you said you only had his part. I was like curious on.
um,
I meant to ask you like how the team finished.
first,
Well, she should get a gold and a silver.
yeah, yeah, because um, again, X was favoring that like the pants,
Yeah.
so he's kind of in his own being, and he's tooting the fucking pod.
Yeah,
But when he hands it off, that next kid is gone.
yeah,
Like
because that
he's
like right, he like handed it off, and then he like you kept the camera on him because he like slowed down and started like walking off the track.
oh, I love how he walks right to me. Like, so you done? Like, can I be done now?
I was waiting for his finish to know. Hey, Dada, like like I did
Or
it.
he just
Uh,
looks and he's like, what?
I played the trumpets. I got my
I played
juice.
it.
Let's roll. Like
Um, but yeah, when they were all done, uh, you know, I went on the field
yeah,
and I was talking to his coach, Miss Hopper, which is like one of his teachers, and I was like, we need to switch up his uniform.
yeah.
I was like, his shirt's too big and his pants are too big. And she was like, oh, okay. She was like, I'll take care of it. So I took it upon myself and I texted his mom and I was like, listen, the coach is going to get me a new uniform. I'll make sure I have it to you by Sunday.
Can you make
And
sure he
she's like,
doesn't
"All right."
have get him shorts without pockets so he can't put his Gatorade bottle in it?
Bro, I'm
He'll
telling
just
you,
carry it.
I could not believe it. I could not, especially when I turned and I was talking and actually like just it wasn't like crazy, but she just like nudged me. She was like, "There's a fucking Gatorade bottle in there," and I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!" She's like, "No, I'm not fucking kidding you." So there he is holding a fucking green apple Gatorade. I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!" But um, yeah. So they got his uniform situation all done.
Okay.
Um, hopefully on Wednesday, like I'm gonna tell Ash just like double check like or even text or talk to the coach and be like make sure his pants
Shorts
or
and that are
shorts are
tied. Yeah,
you know, but all in all it was really cool. I mean I really enjoyed it, but like I said we were leaving from the track and they were doing the scores and I was like oh my god, like I don't even know if you guys won, like I
yeah,
don't. And uh I'm listening and they're doing like, oh, in third place was like Armstrong, and I was like, okay, all right, cool. And then it was like second place is Butler, and I was like, shut the fuck up.
yeah,
And then I was like, I had to hear it. I wanted to hear
yeah,
my son won something.
yeah,
So and they were like, in first place is Fox Chapel High School. Dude, I was looking at Xander. I fucking almost like had tears in my eyes. I was like, you did it. I was like, you won. I was like, your team won. He was like, we won. I was like, yeah, you won.
It's
I
like
was like,
me and the Gatorade bottle. We both won.
the Gatorade bottle gets fucking third place to bronze for coming in behind Xander. But yeah, I was like, yeah. So I'm like doing our high five thing, and his coach sees that, and she was like, that handshake is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I was like, I've taught Xander that handshake since he was probably like 11.
yeah,
I was like, it's just something between us that's like his and mine, and he knows it. It's genuine happiness if he did something not great.
yeah,
But yeah, like, and then the only thing was like the weather. So it was like raining going out to Butler.
yeah,
And then I got there and I was like, oh, come on, don't rain on these kids' parade today. Like
yeah,
seriously. And then Ashley and I are sitting there, and you can literally see it was really like that day I was on the phone with you.
Yeah.
It was like, this is real sunny, and then this was just black. And then Ashley was like, I pray this passes. And I was like, I hope it does.
Yeah.
Because that's the crazy thing is like the start time's 3 p.m.
Yeah.
They no, these kids didn't start till like 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Uh,
So Ash was freaking out that she might be late and be there by 3 o'clock because Xander had a dentist appointment.
yeah.
And she had X in the car.
Yeah.
So I saw her and I was like, I was this close from texting you.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, if you'd have did that, then I'd have got anxiety. I'd have been freaking out on you. And then you'd have freaked out on me. She was like, what made you not text me? I was like, I knew you'd be here. Like, I
Yeah.
knew you would be here. So I was like, I just let it go. But I was like, my anxiety went up a little bit, though. I was like, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Right. Because it was our first. So we don't know how long it goes and
Yeah.
whatnot. And then once we got settled and situated, Ashley was like, and I thought I was going to be late. I was like, I didn't know this shit was going to start at like, I don't know, 4.
They probably like a little warm up, get situated, and
I think that's what they did is they had the kids come out, get warmed up, stretch them like their legs, get familiar with the field, the area,
yeah.
work out some kinks. But yeah, he did really good. I'm very proud of him. I was very
Awesome.
proud. It's a very proud dad moment. Um, and then me and Brandy watched The Blind,
Which one's
the
that?
story, the story of Phil and Kay from Duck Dynasty.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. That movie's fucked up.
what's that on?
Uh I found it on my cinema app
Oh, okay.
because um it kept coming on like my Facebook feed.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? As you scroll, it's like, oh, you have to check out The Blind, the story of Phil and Kay, blah 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 blah. And I was like, I love me some Duck Dynasty.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'll check it out. And then I was like, oh, I wonder what it's on. And then it was like, you can watch it on, I don't know if it was Amazon or something like that. But I was like, I'm not paying for that shit.
Yeah.
you know? So I went to cinema and I saw it and I was like, oh, all right, cool. Well, Phil was an alcoholic.
No. Wow. I mean, I can imagine.
I mean, I love the show. We both love the show. We've talked about it. But um, like his mom, you find out that Phil's mom was like kind of demented
Oh,
and like she would get spells and shit like that. Like, in the South is like instead of her being crazy, she caught the vapors or stuff.
yeah.
And
I'll have to check that out.
they would have her like committed and shit like that. And then you of course size with Phil. They have other siblings. And then, of course, I'm being religious.
Yeah.
There's the God stuff in there. So if you don't like that, if you don't like the show or you're however you feel, if you feel that way about
But that's the
church
thing,
and
though. Like, if you watch Duck Dynasty, you had to be okay with religion in general because
correct,
I mean, Phil was always spitting out some scripture. Like he was always
yeah,
quoting the Bible. You know.
facts,
You
like
know
he
what I mean?
would,
So it was like you had to be okay with it. I mean, it was just part of the show. It was just part of watching them, and it was like it wasn't like that was the whole show, and it wasn't like they made that a focal point. It was just that's
no.
just because none of the like you ain't getting Uncle Si quoting no scriptures.
No, but bro, the guy that plays Uncle Si when they were like teenagers and in their 20s, like they show when Si goes to Nam, they, you know what I mean? Like when he comes back and he even does the "Hey Jack," and I was
Yeah,
fucking pissing myself. But the dude that plays him does it pretty good.
yeah.
Like he is Si. But of course, Phil deals with alcoholism and dude, crazy shit is they bought a bar first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, first thing they ever bought was a bar. Like Phil was like a teacher.
Oh,
Yo, you find out some shit.
yeah.
Like you're just like,
I'm gonna have to check that out. That was like I watched something else and I found out some shit, and I was like, huh. Can't remember what I just watched recently, like an interview or something with somebody, and I was like, that's some shit that I didn't know. I'll tell you this. I just saw this. This blew my mind. Again, this was like a something I saw on social media. It wasn't like a so Drew Carey, Drew Carey show, host The Price is Right or whatever. You
mhm.
know that motherfucker is a Marine?
I've heard that.
I did not know that man went through the
I've
Marine Corps.
heard that.
I was like, wow. Like he just I mean, not that he doesn't, I wouldn't say he's like doesn't support military or anything like that, but to see to I would not picture that man as a vet. Like I would not think of him as a guy that went through
Nah.
and especially the Marines. Like,
Yeah. Like he's just down fucking Paris Island.
yeah, like
Yeah.
that blew my mind. I was like, really? Like I watched his show when it was on, the Drew Carey show, and we watched that other thing he hosted, the Who's Line with the other comedy
I
guys.
loved Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah, like we watched all this. So like, I was a fan of Drew Carey. Just hated he was from Cleveland, but I got past it.
People get past it.
So it's like, but I learned that, and I was like, that's trippy. Like I would have,
Yeah, right?
like I wouldn't, would have never would have thought of that. Like that's just like an odd thing, like to find out about, an actor like that. But I mean, hey, whatever. But
Right.
yeah, I can't remember what the other who it was that I was just watching. Again, I was watching something, and there was an interview with somebody, and I was like,
You're
huh,
buffering all over the damn place today.
I am, I am.
um, in that movie though, you only get Alan, Jace, and Willie. Like no Jep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I found that perplexing because I was like, basically, okay. Again, Phil's telling this his life story
Yeah.
to a friend of his while they're hunting ducks. Like they're in the blind.
So the movie is kind of like flashbacks.
Yeah, in a way. But it's like Phil telling his story of how he became
Yeah,
Phil and how the trials and tribulations that he dealt with.
yeah, yeah.
Like his alcoholism, him always smoking all the time, um, the bar, the girls, the broads. Yo, it's wild.
Yeah, I'll have to check. I'll look it up. I
Um,
probably something.
but yeah, they go and have like at the end of the movie they ended it just like the TV show. They all get around it like a picnic table,
Mhm.
they pray. And I was looking at counting the kids, and I was like, "That's Alan." I was like, "That's Jace. That's Willie." I was like, "Where the fuck's Jep?"
Maybe he didn't,
Where?
maybe he didn't want to be part of it.
Nobody like he. I found this out too. Did you know that that Jep is like an alcoholic?
That yeah, that's a little surprising. Like out of all of them, he's the one that I don't think I would have expected.
No, neither would I. And then like I was googling because I was googling the cast in the movie because I know the lady that plays Miss K. I've seen her in something else,
Yeah.
and she was in like the Haunting of Bly Manor,
Okay.
and she looked familiar. So I was like, all right. But then it was something like how you Google one thing and then something else pops up like blah, blah, blah. And it was like, how did Jep deal with his addiction? And I was like, what? So of course my fucking ass was like, and I
Yeah.
looked and I was like, yeah, he dealt with alcoholism. It was very closeted.
Well, I mean, if Dad did it, you know what I mean? Like, kind
I
of.
mean, yeah, and
I don't
like
want to say it
especially
runs in the family, but
right. But after watching that, The Blind, a lot of things come to fruition and make sense. But what's his wife's name?
who?
Jeps.
Oh, I don't remember the wives.
Because I forget her name. Give me a second. But
Well,
Corey,
Willie's wife's name was some for me,
Corey,
Corey.
They're the producers of the movie.
Oh, really?
Willie and Corey. Yeah.
Huh.
And that
I don't remember.
shit is gonna draw a blank. I'll be fucking it up. Somebody will tell me in the comments eventually. I know somebody watches Duck Dynasty that watches us. So that's fine. Um, but I am drawing a blank on it too, because I know Missy is Jace's. Yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Ah,
I love the way he always like, his Chase was like my favorite of the brothers.
Jace
And
is my fucking favorite, bro.
he would always like the way he would always like say her name. It wasn't like he said it like not out of anger, but like because Jace was always looking to have like fun. Like he always was trying to make like a joke or trying to make like turn something boring into like an
Something
adventure.
eventful, yeah.
And he would always like, and then it was like, "Oh, Missy is my buzzkill." But the way he always said Missy, with his little southern draw to it, like
Right?
I'm like, "Oh shit, here we go. He's gonna bitch about her." Like,
Oh yeah, for real. But yeah, I mean, it was good. I really enjoyed it. And then I saw it today. I grabbed. Oh, it shows Uncle Si with a teacup too. How ironic.
nice.
Um, but today I was at John Eagle and I saw like a Slimer energy drink. Like I guess they're promoting the movie,
Oh
and I bought that. And there was like a Big Apple freeze. I guess they freeze the Big Apple.
yeah.
Okay, and they're not bad. No sugar, pretty good. But of course, my nostalgia kicked in. I was like, "How good is this Slimer? Like, is this going to be like the fucking high C, like an Ecto Cooler? Because if it is, if it slaps, I'm going to buy seven.
Well, they did. They whenever not this one, not not the Frozen Empire, whatever it's called. Uh, the Afterlife, the one that came out 2 years ago, I think
Yeah,
it was. They did. High C did for like a, a limited edition just to promote the movie. They brought back Ecto coolers for
just
like
keep it around.
a limited time, and I was like, man, because Ecto coolers basically were like a green apple, though.
Yeah. Well, I remember the one time I went over Craig and Jen's, and he was like, "I know you don't like sour beer," and I was like, I don't." And he's like, "Well, they have this Ecto Cooler sour," and I was like, "Let me have it."
Yeah,
Like, I don't care if it's shit. I don't care if it's trash. I want to try it.
yeah,
And it did. It tasted like a sour Ecto Cooler, but it just tasted like, like beer.
yeah.
It was pretty good. Um, what else? Oh, hot damn. Forgot. Did you get high this weekend?
No,
No?
no.
I was like, bro, it's 420. You didn't get all blazed up. You ain't leaving no fucking blunts and stuff, like some edibles out for Snoop Dogg.
No.
What kind of best fucking friend are you? You're supposed to set the shit out for Snoopy Snoop. Whatever.
Well, I mean, that was, you know, never really my thing to begin with, let alone.
I know, like, when I went to my, I'm sorry, I visited my mom on Saturday.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
there was some celebrating there.
Yeah, bro. Not really.
Kev didn't celebrate.
I mean, come on, right there. Kev did for sure. But then I didn't see my sister until later. Like she popped up at the crib, and she she was like sober. I was like,
Wow.
I was like, okay, nobody indulging. It's fine.
They do it so much non 420 though. On 420 they mellow it. They
And on
reverse it.
420, they're just like, you know what? We're just not going to today.
Yeah.
We ain't having it today.
No.
Um, but in the process of that, my mom is, I guess, gonna try to quit smoking, like for real, for real.
Well, it's about damn time.
You would think after the heart attack, it would just,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you would think hand in hand, this would be it. But so she wants somebody to do it with her. So I quit vaping. I don't like it. I
Well,
fucking hate
no
it.
shit.
I fucking hate it. So it was like I told her, I was like, listen, when my cartridge dies, I'm good. I will. I was like, I will. But she was like, okay, well, you have until like her birthday's next week. And I was like, all right, but I, there's no point in me buying another cartridge,
Yeah.
you know.
It's
And
gonna, yeah, that'll last you
yeah,
past.
yeah. So I was I was in Monroeville today, and I it's half full, and I was like, there's no point. Like, there's no point. I'm
Yeah.
not going to get to the end of this cartridge by her birthday.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay. So I just had it, and the charger was click connected to it, right? Bro, I took it and I fucking chucked it into this fucking dumpster. And then I was like, I should have hit that before I threw it in there.
Yeah.
Bro, it was like, boom, right in the dumpster. And I was like, I should have fucking hit that. I was not ready. I was standing on my own 2 feet right there, and then I was like, I should have hit that before I threw it in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. But um, that was about 11, 10 o'clock this morning, and like I'm not miserable, I'm not grouchy, anything like that. I was last week because I've been trying to wean off of it.
You better start buying stock in some Bubblicious.
I figured I'm just gonna do like Ace Ventura when he had like chipmunk cheeks.
Yeah.
Be like, can I have some of your gum? Be like, that's personal. I'd like you to stay out of my affairs. Like, but yeah, I was just like, all right, fuck it. I guess, maybe it is like time for me to chill the fuck out. Because like I've been having like not drastic, but I found out that like, vaping leads to like bloating
Yeah.
and you feel like your stomach's tight. And I was like, oh, I've been getting that, and it's like almost like a nicotine overdose.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, that's the last thing I should be ODing from. It's fucking nicotine. Like I've did a lot of things in my life,
I'm not putting that on your fucking grave.
right? But I mean, I feel okay. And then today, I thought I'd be stressed out because Brandy having her surgery, and I would want it, but no, no, like I'm actually okay, you
Yeah.
know. And plus, you know, I'm not putting her surgery down, but it's like it's not a crazy surgery where I'm like on edge, freaking out, kind of deal.
No, it wasn't life threatening.
No, 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 no. I mean, little do we know.
Well, yeah. But
But
it, going into it, it wasn't.
correct. Going into it, that's how I felt. So I was like, maybe this is just the prominent time to just get rid of it. And then when I hear from her mom, I'm like, motherfucker. Like,
Yeah.
but I mean, to that point, yes, my girlfriend is okay. She's fine. Everything's all right.
Yeah.
She just had a little gastric bypass surgery going on, so she's okay. So she's fine. Um, but yeah, like of all days to quit fucking vaping, I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
It was just, But I figure if my mom wants some help, I'll help her. Because I was thinking Noelle would, but then it was like, not a chance. Not a fucking chance. Not at all. But,
She might kill somebody.
yo, hands down, they're going to have to blur my face for the ID channel.
Yeah.
They're going to have to ask me questions. I'm like, I know nothing, just blur this. Just,
They don't have to blur me. I'll go live and in person.
oh, I
I'm
bet.
like, listen here. Let me tell you about this chick. Let me tell you about old LV Noel. Like, let me tell you.
Right? Um, she also said, um, she wants me to start sharing the podcast with her. So if I have the link from the YouTube, send her the YouTube link, and then she'll put it on hers. So we'll get way more, like a bigger audience.
Yeah, my mom. We had a little family chat yesterday or the day before. I don't know when we did it. But I sent I sent the whole YouTube channel link, not just the episodes links, like individual. I
Hmm.
sent her the whole channel link, and my mom's gonna put it out through Facebook. Because you know, she was asking, like, I mean, she knew that we did it, like she knows that, you know, me and you do this, but I mean, they're our moms, like they're gonna support us, but they're old, they're not gonna go like watching YouTube videos. But like they, you know, she was like, you know, I was telling her about some of our topics, how like, we reminisce about old times and this and that, and after she was like, well, yeah, a lot of my friends know you guys, like, watch gyms grow up, so they might have a link, or if you're talking about like old Lawrenceville days stuff, like, you know, there's people there that might have an interest in what you're talking about. Not all the time. And I'm like, well, that's the whole thing. Like, we never know what direction we're gonna go each episode, but you know, yeah,
No,
sometimes.
like
But,
we really don't. It's just like,
and that's why
um,
we tell you people you got to subscribe and you got to watch, because it might start off and you're like, I don't know if I like what they're talking about, but by the time, give it a few minutes, we might get somewhere that you'll be like, oh, I like that.
yeah, right. Like the purpose and premises of this fucking podcast is just when we have your attention, we'll go to something else. And if it's not for you, you'll come back, we're at something else.
Yeah,
That's what the whole point of this is. Because I've listened and I've watched a number of podcasts where it's like, it's the same thing over and over again. And it's like, that's cool for an audience, but I want my audience to be all over the place. All over the place. And I've got I've got great feedback about, it's not, what's the word? It's not complacent. Like it's not the same
yeah,
thing. Um that we're very random,
yeah.
which we
I mean,
um
last week we were talking about bachelorette bums, and this week we were talking about, you know, well, I think we were more on a sports topic this week. You know, we talked about the weekend sports, talked about
yeah,
hockey, talked about Xander's sports, talked about wrestling. That's all
right.
sports.
But I mean, I'm still on the mission to find a fucking
I mean,
bum.
we had Kevin singing Candy Rain. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know.
Kevin was singing fucking Candy Rain, you know? Right? I mean, then we're talking about fucking Duck Dynasty blinds,
Yeah,
you know? And Drew Carey was in the fucking Marines.
he was a Marine.
Fucking Marine. Fucking Marines.
Hoorah! Like, I don't know.
Right? Uh yeah, like um actually speaking of Marines, I was just trying to get uh, I was kind of slowly freaking out. I thought my fire stick literally just came on.
Oh,
So I was like, okay. And then I was like updating. I was like, because if you make some noises in my background, I'll fucking throw you.
I'm like, who's hacking my shit?
I can only imagine. Um, but I was telling Brandy about Memorial Day,
Yeah,
like, and she was like, "Oh man," she's like, "Well, how long is it?" I was like, "It could be the whole fucking day."
yeah. It could be a PC minute.
Yeah, I was like, and then she's like, "Well, it'd be on a Monday, right?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Oh, I see what you're saying." I was like, I don't want to be sunburnt and fucking hurting on a fucking Monday and be like, "Welcome to the podcast. Look at the bags under my fucking eyes."
No, I mean, we could treat it like a special event, like we've done with other things, like we did with WrestleMania, and then some other times we have, like, you know, we could record. You know, you guys might not get an episode on Memorial Day. We might maybe pop on the socials and give a little, have a Memorial Day shout out. But like, as far as an episode goes, you know, it might be delayed a day or two. Just gives us just more shit to talk about, though.
Or we could just shoot live from the Memorial Day parade.
Oh, that'll happen. That's. I mean, that wasn't a not like.
I mean, our guests will be Charles, Brittany, your wife, and my girlfriend. So it'll be like, hey,
Well, I don't know, like that. We'll have to plan it like closer to. I mean, we got like what, a month,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like a month from today to figure that out. But like, uh, because I don't like, my kid works now. Like, you know, uh, the wife, we'll have to figure out that out, like stuff with her. So we always
I was
figure it
like,
out.
we'll just keep that on a swivel.
We always figure it out though.
I was like, we always keep that on a swivel.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I mean, it's become a tradition. Like,
yeah, it's like our
I
own
mean,
thing
for,
between
for,
the
for
six of
us,
us.
for those of you that like don't know, like, so obviously Lawrenceville every year has one of like the biggest Memorial Day parades in the U.S. And it's like us growing up in Lawrenceville, like that was a family tradition. Like I know for me, like my grandfather, like taking all of us grandkids down, especially the fact that he served and he was a big supporter of the USA. So it was just a big thing to go to the Memorial Day parade. And then, you and your family, your mom and that, like I know your Graham, you guys would always be down there. It's just a Lawrenceville thing to do. And then, we grew up, we moved away. I mean, I know even for you, there was probably a few years where we weren't around
Yeah,
to go for whatever reasons. But then, like, me and you started making it like a tradition of taking our kids. Like,
yeah,
once Jane and Xander came around, like, we wanted them to experience what we had as kids. And yeah, and it's kind of like a little mini reunion because we go back, run into old Lawrenceville people that
yeah,
that again now bring their kids and stuff like that. And like you said, Charles and Brittany started joining us. Noelle and her crew, however many of
yeah,
her crew come. So it's nice to like just have like that little reunion for the day. We go hang out in the cemetery and watch the service. Support the troops and all that stuff. So it's like, yeah, it's a fun, just a fun little day as long as the weather cooperates. Like I said, we've had some days where it was a scorcher.
yeah. I remember right after I got diagnosed and I was on metformin and my fucking arms were bubbling.
Yeah,
Yeah, because of the medicine, and I was like, "This has never fucking happened."
no, because that was the day I teased you, and I was like, "You should have wore sleeves." Like,
Yeah,
you always you always wear your like a cutoff, like a tank, because it's hot. It's
it's
generally
hot.
hot. I don't think we've had one like maybe it was like mild, but not cool. Where you're like, oh, I need like it's always shorts and a tank or something or a
Yeah,
cutoff. And you, I was like, because I had on that was the year that it was like what 2 years ago, and I think I had just specially bought my Beavis and Butthead Memorial Day shirt, so I
yeah.
had sleeves and you didn't, and I was like, bro, like you
I'm
regret
telling
that
you,
one.
because like I was just I didn't know that that's what it would do from the medicine, and then as I'm walking, my son's like popping my back,
Yeah,
like on my arms, and he's like, "Oh, it's all wet. Stop touching me!" Like,
yeah. It didn't even Brittany gave you like I think Brittany had like sunscreen she had for the kids.
yeah, I did.
Oh,
I
you
had it. I started
Xander.
spraying my arms, and it wasn't fucking working. I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, yeah." I was bubbly as fuck.
you were.
And then I was afraid when I got back in the car that if I turned a certain way in the car,
Oh,
it
because
would
it
have.
hurt like a bitch.
It did, and if I would have leaked on my fucking car seat, like it'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, gosh. But yeah, like poor Xander's like back there. He literally came over the front seat and was like, boop, boop, boop. I was like, bro, like you do it fucking one more time. I swear,
Well, to
because
turn into
like
SmackDown Road, we hope to be on Cody Rhodes Rock real quick around here.
it was, I was about to for real because I couldn't believe it. I was like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But I mean, last year I was okay. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
last year it wasn't too bad.
mm-mm.
Uh, Especially too because like once you get into the cemetery and we go down for the service, like there's a lot of tree coverage.
Except by the monument.
Well, the
Like when they
monument
do the
itself.
service, I
Yeah.
love how everybody swarms right towards it,
Oh yeah.
right
We
towards it,
we stay back where the tree coverage is.
right
Not that we're
towards that
far,
tree.
but it's just like I'm not standing in that shit.
No, what was it last year? Was you going to get water or cake or something? I don't know. What were you going to get?
No, I went to use the goddamn porta john, and while I was waiting in line, there was I think it was like Salvation Army or somebody was like, yeah, they were giving out water, bottles of water, and like, yeah, there were some kind of like pastry, like I don't know, it was a cookie or
Oh no, no, no!
something.
It was a Danish.
Yeah,
It was a Danish, and I was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Is that a Danish? I don't do Danish. What the fuck you have it for?"
they gave it to me. Like take a pee, get a Danish. I don't know.
That's the fucking best. I was like, "What the fuck you have it for?" I don't know. They gave me a free Danish.
Yeah,
All I thought of when that happened was fucking Tango and Cash. He was like, "What did you stop for coffee and a Danish?" I hate Danish.
Yeah, like I mean, whatever. I figured somebody, one of the kids or somebody ate it. I know it didn't
Somebody
get
would have
away.
ate it,
There was no doubt about that.
right? Oh my god. I'm in the process of getting little brother Dave Miner on this show. We're gonna work around his schedule. Probably within the next couple weeks. Um, I'm imagining Big Bro Griff wants to come back because he's really subtly hinting at it. Now that we're doing this wonderful nonsense, that should be fun. And I think we owe it to Kiana to put her on video.
Yeah, because she's gonna have
She
her hair
was
and she gonna have her hair and makeup did.
That lovely woman was ready to fucking go. You know, she thought she was coming to the crib. She was gonna have dinner with your
Yeah,
boy. But but the thing is, I'll always have dinner with her. Like, you
yeah.
know what I mean? But it was just funny as hell. But yeah. And then we are gonna have Brittany back on the show too, because she was Brittany just had surgery on her knee. She's a little bored, has nothing to do. So
Well, like I always say, the guest list is that's your
I
forte.
got it.
That's your forte. You just let me know, uh, or don't let me know. I mean, the only way I would here's the thing: don't let me know if we have. Well, I guess I would have to know,
Yeah.
but like just mainly, again, like if there's somebody's schedule we have to work around, just keep me updated so I know what
Yeah.
we're doing.
Because I'm starting to get that now. If people want to be on the show, but it's like, oh, I can't do it this day and that day. Okay, like that's fine. I have no problem with it. And I was like, we will make it work. Um,
Yeah,
like I just said that in our Facebook group chat when Jim Schmiel wants us to do like Mario Kart,
yeah,
and I'm like, well, we can't do it Monday because we record the podcast on a Monday.
yeah,
You know, and then he's like, well, Sunday nights, and I'm like. But I love you, but like I'm in the process of transferring my kid or picking him up.
yeah,
So, but I mean, again, I'm down for whatever. If it's the only way I can hang with the boys is by playing Mario Kart, I'll fucking play Mario Kart.
yeah.
I'd rather be out with the fellas than play Mario Kart. You know,
Thought he meant real live Mario Kart. I didn't know what was going on
I
there
mean,
for a
I don't
minute.
know. I'd have fucking been
What
down.
the?
I'd have been down for that too. Be like, fuck it. You know, fuck it. But we got Monday Night Raw to watch. So until next time. Be sure to follow us on all socials. And of course, follow the podcast. I stress this enough.
Yeah.
Follow the YouTube channel.
Next week we'll have it down on the ticker where you can follow us at.
Yes, I love it. That way, it's like you can follow us at these, beep, 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 and that's it. And like, because I love y'all and y'all are wonderful people. Y'all are great. But, you know, where do I find it? It's still on YouTube at
Yeah.
Show Thoughts Podcast. It's it's how it is. It's not changing. It's been this way now forever. Um, give us a like and a follow. Give us follow us on all social medias. I'm working on a show thoughts Snapchat too.
Okay.
I'm gonna take pieces of the podcast and put it on Snapchat, and then I'm also gonna. It's
Can't
YouTube
can't,
wants me to
can't do the
recommend.
ticky talkie.
I'm not doing no fucking TikToks.
That's getting shut down.
Yeah, well, apparently so is like our favorite foods. Like, I know Cheetos are. I think it's is it Oreos, Lucky Charms. There's like shit in it that's bad for us. Like really, health wise, bad for us.
Well,
Even Gatorade's in there too. But I was like, yeah, but it doesn't stop Xander from coming in second place.
that's just go juice right there.
It is the go juice that makes your pants fall down too. All right, this is Show Thoughts. Of course, I am the lovely Big Show. Of course, that is Big E. And I and we and the whole world will see us again next Monday. Later.
Played it.